1.
Have you ever wanted to try something new? Maybe get your kid in a sport or just let out some of that college stress? The purpose of this speech is to demonstrate how to hit a softball by showing you how to choose the correct bat, a batter stance, and explaining what your body should be doing while you're hitting the ball. I have played softball for 12 years and coached on and off for 2 on 14U and 16U teams. The first thing I will explain is how to choose the correct bat for you. Secondly, I will demonstrate a batter stance, and lastly, I will explain what your body should be doing while you're hitting. That brings me to my first point, how to choose the correct bat. There's 3 things you want to take into mind: height, weight, brand. For height, you want to take the barrel of the bat, which is the thick end, put it on the ground. The bat should end 1 to 2 inches below your hip. For weight, you want to take the bat in either your dominant or your weak hand, it really doesn't matter, and hold it out for 20 seconds. If you complete this with a little bit of struggle, that usually means the bat is the correct weight for you. Lastly, brand. Now, I know of one place that will allow you to go in and swing a bat before you buy it, Dick's Sporting Goods. And usually they have people who are informed on what different types of brands there are and different weights and heights, and they should be able to help you a little bit more than I can. Now, we'll demonstrate a batter stance. For right-handed, this is a rest position. For left-handed, this is a rest position. Now let's get into the logistics of it. With your hands, if you're right-handed, you want to take your left hand and put it at the bottom of the bat. Then you want to take your right hand and put it on top of your left hand. Now, these knuckles, or your second knuckles, which are also known as your knocker knuckles, or the ones you use to knock on a door, should be aligned. And that usually is a comfortable position, and your wrists should be straight. Now, for your feet, they want to be a little wider than your hips. If you want to know a good suggestion on where your feet should go, you could lay your bat on the ground. With your bat on the ground, the height of your bat, or the length of it, should be about where you should place your feet. Now, we're going to go into rest position one more time. Now I'm going to demonstrate a ready position. A ready position is when you lift your bat off your right shoulder and load 60% of your weight onto your back hip, bringing your right heel or your left heel up if you're right-handed, or your right heel up if you're left-handed. That brings me to my last point, what your body should be doing while you're hitting. Now that you're in a ready position with 60% of your weight back and your hands up, the next thing you should do is drop your trigger, or that heel that went up. With the trigger dropped, with enough force, it should allow your hips to start moving 90 degrees. When they get to 90 degrees, your knee will go in. When your knee goes in, let it, and bring that heel up to the sky, or as we use in Little League, squish the bug. When you squish the bug, your hips should move to 90 degrees or facing directly in front of you. When they go directly in front of you, that means your shoulders should move with it. So, at this point, you're here. When you go and use your trigger, you're at contact. When you hit contact, there's 2 things you do after: extension and finish. Extension allows the ball to move farther. But there's 2 things that can go wrong. You could go to extension and stop without the finish, or you could roll over. Rolling over makes the ball go into the ground. Let's demonstrate how to hit now. In conclusion, I showed you how to choose a bat, I demonstrated a batter stance, and explained what your body should be doing while you're hitting. Now let's go let out some of that frustration or anger and have some fun.